That's awesome.
That's
I've loved all your
incredible.
answers. They were like so spot
Well,
on.
thank you. I'm a big nerd.
Us
You-
too.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you fit right
We
in.
host an anime podcast. You're talking to like three of the biggest nerds on the floor. Like,
That's why I feel at home.
coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is The Anime Effect, where each week we bring you interviews with amazing people from across the world of anime, from directors to actors, artists, and more to discuss their work and their anime favorites. It's pop culture with an anime lens. I'm your host, Leah President.
It's me, LeAlec Murray.
And I'm another host, Nick Friedman.
You're always here somewhere.
And the three of us
Yes.
together,
Yes.
with a special guest we'll introduce in a second, are here to see just how powerful the effect of anime
Really is.
All right, look. This week,
Bro, I'm geeked right now.
we have with us someone we have talked about, I don't know how many times on this show.
Full crash out. It's happening.
Because we are fans isn't even a word that can describe this. He's in
Acolytes.
he's in so many of our favorite anime and games. He's the reason I love D&D. The one and only Matthew Mercer.
Hi, thanks for having me, everybody.
Bro, we're so excited to have you on today. Like, it's actually insane.
Incredible.
I'm happy to be here, y'all.
Incredible.
Of course,
Man,
welcome.
This is crazy because like right before we jumped on, it was like, man, it was Troy, and then now it's Matt, and it's like, what are we? The Secret Saturdays, just collecting cryptids? Like, is the Pokemon?
That
like
was
we're just
such a pull, too.
Pretty slick, actually.
yeah. I mean, I love Secret Saturdays, so
Hell
anytime
yeah.
I talk about it, whatever.
I'm just having an out of body experience right now. I
Mhm.
think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's get into it.
This is great.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, just so people know, just in case you don't know, everybody out there, of course, Matt is a big part of Critical Role. Also, Legends of Vox Machina, which I
Ooh.
absolutely
So good.
love.
Oh,
I'm so
Um,
happy that exists, just in
yeah,
general.
it's
like,
for sure.
it's so cool.
Attack on Titan, which is a table favorite.
We'll get there.
We'll get
there.
there. We'll get there. But like we do with every guest, Matt,
Mhm.
we have to know, what was your gateway anime?
Oh, mine's old school, technically. It was before I even knew what anime was. I was very young, and I remember watching a movie called Unico and the Island of Magic.
Oh.
Old school. Like, I was very young, and I loved it. It scared me. It had a creepy, like, witch person who turned people into wooden dolls, and I loved it. That technically would have been the first, but like really gateway into anime and the fandom would have been, like a lot of people, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, in particular, I was in middle school, and my friend Ian, it wasn't available really much at all here yet. Toonami didn't exist. But one of my friends, Ian, he used to get the original episodes on like bootleg VHS tapes that were in Japanese with Korean subtitles. And since
Oh
he
my
was
God.
Korean,
Oh my God.
I'd watch it without knowing what was happening, really. And then when the episode was done, I'd turn to him and be like, all right, so what happened? But I loved it.
I love that so much. That early anime experience in the US, I like the bootlegs, the trading VHS
Yeah, tape trading.
tapes.
Yeah. That's a thing, man.
We have come so far.
We really have,
We have
man.
come so far. Well, let's dive into anime. I mean, you're Levi in Attack on Titan.
Yes.
That's like that. And that's where I throw it to Leah, because I love Attack on Titan, but I don't know if anyone loves Attack on Titan quite like Leah.
No.
This is true.
It is my special comfort show, which is strange because it's like the least comforting show of all time.
Yeah, that's
But-
some inner reflection there.
Yeah, right? My inner turmoil. But of course you were Levi, the voice of Levi in Attack on Titan, a show that has meant so much to me. I'm always talking about like my connection to this show, like interviewing Isayama, having Attack on Titan tattoos. Like, it's my favorite thing ever. So I want to know, Since Levi, of course, has so many iconic lines and moments, what is your favorite Levi line or like quip from the show?
Oh, man. I mean, he's got a lot of great shouted combat lines, especially when he's just hunting and his like seething hatred for the Beast Titan. His Kenny scream was such a fun thing to record. But nah, like I still go back to like the early days when they're in the trial with Aaron. And it's just like the best discipline is pain, and then he just like kicks the shit out of him.
Yes.
Like it went so hard. And very much established the character like in the season. Like it was cool back, but at that moment you're like, wait, what's going on? Like it was such a cool scene. That and his monologue on top the female Titan in the first season.
Where
he's just describing all the terrible things he's gonna do. And like it's just like once again, like, oh, who is this? Oh no.
Yeah.
So those are definitely some of my favorites.
Honestly, those are some of my favorites too. So it's glad I'm happy to hear that.
It's crazy. Because we talk about characters now, especially now. We talk about characters that have aura, and I think like in the modern age of anime, Levi was probably the first character to show up and just like had a crazy kind of aura to him because he shows up and you talk about that line where he kicks the shit out of Aaron. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we know what we're dealing with now.
Like all sassy in the air.
Yeah, also like the best discipline is pain. Like, who goes through more specific pain than Levi in Attack? Like, I mean, everyone has their own journey with pain in that show, but like, were we
no
leave
regrets.
Levi at the end? Were we Levi him? Like, thank you, I appreciate the courtesy laugh there. So good.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So good. What was it like going on that journey of Attack on Titan? I mean, that is, I mean, you've been a part of a number of just incredibly legendary, long-running anime series, but like, what was the journey with Levi like specifically?
I mean, it started in an interesting way because before any sort of casting went through, the series dropped in the original Japanese, and it was already becoming a phenomenon. And friends of mine were already obsessed with it, and it holds a special place in my art for many reasons. But one in particular, a dear friend of mine that's no longer with us, Grant Imahara, from Mythbusters fame and stuff. He was a massive Attack on Titan fan when it first dropped, and Levi was his favorite character. Guessed. And so he introduced the anime to me. And when I got the audition for Levi, we were already geeking about him being our favorite character. And then I got the audition and I immediately was like, hey man, I got this audition. He was like, what are you kidding me? I remember recording it in my apartment at the time, and the audition ended with just massive screaming like, I will effing kill you, which, and you do like 4 or 5 takes of that and you realize the walls are very thin. You have to go I had to go to my neighbors next door and be like, hey, just so you know, like, it's an audition,
it's a work thing, it's
not real.
There's no one here under duress at all. Like,
please be aware. And I, like a lot of auditions, like, I hope this works out, but who knows? And Mike McFarlane was so wonderful to offer.
Shout out to Mike.
Such a good dude, and I love working with him, and just the chance to work with him again on this project with this character was such an incredible opportunity. I remember him calling me while I was driving, and I'm like totally playing it cool on the phone. I'm like, yeah, oh, awesome, man. No, thank you so much. Looking forward to it. Great. Cool. Bye. Ended the call, pulled over, and then just like fist pumped as hard as I could in my car. But yeah, ever since then, the journey's just been incredible. The whole cast, there's just so many wonderful people that I got to know through the experience, and we've all grown over this past decade with the series and got to cheer each other on. And yeah, the very end of it was very emotional, and I didn't read ahead to the manga. I made sure I was recording it. I was recording it as I was experiencing it for the final episode.
Wow.
And I'll never forget the moment that I recorded my last line, and Mike just went, that's it. It's over. And just immediately tears, and it was so wild.
It's incredible.
Wow, that's awesome.
Levi. Well, speaking of an anniversary of 10 years, which that was good time. I appreciate the segue. Cue up.
Yes, it's better than most
Teed
of
him right
yours,
up.
but continue.
We're going to talk more about anime, but we have to take a small break to talk about something massive, which is we have to talk about Critical Role.
Yeah.
Just celebrating its
Hell
10-year
brother.
anniversary.
Hell yeah.
Holy congratulations.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you very much. None of this makes sense still. 10 years in, we all, me and the rest of the cast are constantly looking at ourselves, even just this weekend at C2E2 and being like, what the hell? This is crazy. No, we're so grateful that this continues to go, and it continues to go from a place of just like authentic joy and slapdickery and just, doing the thing that I've loved since I was a kid. Role-playing games are what got me into acting. It's what gave me my confidence to be able to talk in different voices and publicly speak more and tell stories. So like for me, my whole journey started with tabletop games, and to be able to like bring that full circle and bring that to so many other people and watch them take that torch and run with it in so many incredible ways. Like I'm just grateful. Tired, but grateful.
I mean, much like anime, we talked about this on the show with other guests before, but D&D is one of those things where like it is a uniquely specific experience.
Yeah.
Like you can't get the feeling of playing D&D from anything else. And you don't know it until you do it. And my friend he's our DM in our group, he always says like, if there's one thing I could ask of people, it's that everyone plays D&D at least once in their life.
Agreed.
I mean, most of the like
I
RPG
agree.
games you play nowadays, like there's no way it's not inspired by
Oh, yeah.
D&D. Like just the level of like world building that you can have as a character with dialogue options in itself is like a testament to the impact of that.
I mean, if you want to look at the bloodline, if you look back at the original Final Fantasy for the NES and look at the creature designs there, they're conspicuously close to a lot of the old school Monster Manual art designs, like legally curious. The bloodline's been there for a while.
I love it. And it's just, and you also touched on the authenticity, because the thing I love about Critical Role is it legitimately feels like friends hanging out and playing. It is free of a certain level of like, I don't know, buttoned upness that just makes it feel so real.
Yeah, and I feel like because D&D, you have to kind of like, and I had to learn this very quick when I started playing, like you have to shed a part of yourself that's like, oh, I'm going to be buttoned up. Like I have to kind of like act like this is not a big deal. But then as you start playing, it's like, oh no, this is a big deal. My character is a big deal.
Yeah.
So I have to be my character, or like the experience is not going to be what I want it to be.
Totally. It's one of the few things you can engage with that, on top of the fact that it's a collaborative creative space and is empowering, especially to those who have a hard time finding empowering experiences in our lives day to day. But it is a tool set to experience life through other perspectives, to step into the shoes of perspectives you wouldn't have the opportunity to, and through such learn more about yourself, expand your empathy. And for me, one of my favorite terms is sonder, which is the acknowledgement that every person you ever see or cross has their own full life and their own full story and their own dreams and passions and loves. And that perspective is a very important one to walk through life, to not see yourself as the main character at all times. And I think role-playing games are a wonderful way to engage with that perspective. And I know it's made me a better person in a lot of ways. And to your point, hard-pressed for any of us to have played to have not been better people through these experiences too.
Absolutely. I am curious though, because we talked a little bit about your work in anime so far, but I'm like, has your work in anime, or even just your love for anime, like the deep cuts, Unico, like have any of those experiences influenced your skills as a DM?
I mean, they've certainly influenced my love and understanding of over-the-top action.
Yeah, love that.
As well as like numerous character tropes, the Sunder character and all these like various personas that are exemplified through anime's history. I'm heavily influenced by all of that, so both video games and anime and just a lot of the media that I consumed growing up, all consciously and subconsciously forged how I run my games, as they do for any GM out there who runs a game. So yeah, there's all sorts of anime flavor throughout the way we play our games. For Critical Role in particular, we all came up through anime. You know, a lot of us met through
true.
that industry. And so when we come into our combat sequences, when we're describing the way we're casting spells, there's definitely a very anime filter over our imaginations through a lot of these moments and sequences.
So do you have, like, just for, I guess a more of a personal question for me, but I mean, I've gotten into the point, like I've played, you know, a couple of campaigns and I've gotten to a point where I'm like, yeah, I want to do some DM stuff now. So I've started, like, you know, picking up some different modules and stuff. But for anybody that wants to, like, you know, DM, like, what are some, like, quick tips that you have for people that want to do that?
Hell yeah, totally. Well, first off, it can be very daunting when you're like, oh God, I have to run a game in a world.
It is.
Don't think of it as a world. Think of it as a location. Start with a village. Start with like a small little podunk town, or start with a mining town, or start with some place that is small and just focus on that place. You don't have to build the world, because you're not going to explore the world. You're going to explore town. And so, you know, giving yourself that kind of limited scope will prevent you from feeling overwhelmed. And then you can just slowly expand as the games continue, you know, kind of follow the inspiration. That's how Exandria started. When we first started playing at home, you know, as Vox Machina, I just had Stilben, which is a little swamp town. Didn't even have the continent built. It was just the town.
Oh,
and then as we played more, I created Westruun when they wanted to go to a second town. And then I created Iman when they wanted to go to a big city. And that was over a period of months. So don't feel like you have to do everything at once. You can kind of expand it as the story expands. And on top of that, when you're running games, the nature of the game is to do a little bit of prep, and then your players follow none of it.
I am that player.
So you can't be precious. The preparation is for you to fall back on, but you want to be actively listening to the players, following their threads of excitement and joy. You're going to be on this by the seat of your pants going, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this. So your prep is more there to help you grab some things that you can throw in that you weren't expecting to. And anything that gets discarded or doesn't get, you know, reached that you had prepared, it's not gone. It just means you get to save it for later. So planning in a modular way, you know, building characters and stories that can move around, their order can change. They might be able to come later in the game. That helps you feel more comfortable than like having a very strict series of events. And then the minute it goes haywire, you're like, it's broken. Oh God, I can't do it. You know, it's a mindset to keep for that.
I will never forget that our GM let me create ranch dressing in our campaign. Like, for the first time in this world, ranch dressing.
Everyone who tastes it is like, what is this magic?
What a historical impact on that world.
This poultice of divine flavors.
I remember my DM one time was going to penalize me because one of the characters, I was playing a dwarf that was like a weapon master. And one of my tropes was every time we beat an enemy, I would steal a weapon. So I'm just like carrying like tons and tons of weapons around.
You are over encumbered.
Yeah. He was like, bro, I'm going to start punishing you if you don't quit like carrying a bunch of stuff.
You have to be 50 yards behind the rest of the party at all times. Wait for me, guys.
Right. Wait a minute. Yeah, it was great though.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, I could literally talk about D&D all day.
Yeah, for sure.
We do have to talk about another grand adventure though, which is One Piece.
Oh boy.
So this is actually, I don't know if you know this, this actually isn't your very first time on the Anime Effect, technically. You sent in a short video message that we included in the episode that we filmed live at San Diego Comic-Con last year. Yeah. With One Piece actors, but of course you are the English voice of Trafalgar Law. He's one of the most tragic backstories in One Piece, and I'm curious, like, has the role of Law, I almost said the rule, the rule of law,
the rule of law,
has that, like, have you found any personal connections to the journey of Law in One Piece?
It's interesting because, like, I'm grateful that because of the opportunities in anime that I've had, I get to portray a lot of characters that are very different than me and much cooler than me. And that feels nice. I feel I'm grateful I don't have the breadth of tragedy that characters like Levi and Law have, that forge them to who they are. But I can say I connect with him to that sort of mother hen, you know, outwardly acting frustrated and cool when in the inside I'm just trying to make sure everyone's being taken care of. I think that's definitely a facet of his character that I identify with. And man, I don't know. I'm a big old nerdy indoor kid cinnamon roll, so I don't have a whole lot in common with Law necessarily beyond that. I can aspire to be that cool, especially that calculating. That man has so many like backup plan after backup plan after backup plan that really was the plan the whole time. Oh, tricked you. You know, him and Jotaro have a very similar vibe in that regard.
Yeah. Yes.
Exactly as planned.
Exactly. I like to think I'm that well planned, and I like to put off that air as a dungeon master as well. But most of the time, I'm just rolling with it and, you know, trying to put on a brave face while I'm panicking extensively on the inside of my inner monologue. So yeah, I love the characters. They're I wish I was anywhere near as cool as them.
It says here, our producer put in a note that says, let Leah talk about Vincent Valentine.
Oh, no, okay, now she's literally setting me up because I have been set up. Vincent Valentine was like my childhood crush. Like it was everything. It was like my favorite Final Fantasy character. So we actually heard that you got pranked, was it? When you found out you got the role of Vincent Valentine for Final Fantasy Rebirth. Can you tell us that story?
Yeah. So, I mean, much to your degree, like Final Fantasy VII is probably one of my favorite games of all time. It was very formative when the first game came out to my teenage years, and to the point where I've cosplayed numerous characters from the game through my 20s. And Vincent is one of my favorite characters of the franchise, let alone all gaming. To the point where I think when I was starting my career as a voice actor, the rumor of a Final Fantasy VII remake was like the white whale, the thing I hoped one day to work on. And it just kept not happening. And I was like, one day. So I missed the boat for the auditions for the remake, the first one, and was like, no! Then I knew they were making a trilogy, and I knew the company that was doing the recording for the series, and I was friends with Rita at Skylark and didn't want to presume or push my way in anything, but I wrote an email being like, hey, this game means a lot to me. All I'm asking is the opportunity to audition if it goes through. Not to be cast, but just a chance to prove myself. And was very deliberate and extensive in how much it meant to me to just have that chance. So they sent me the audition, and I put myself into it. And they didn't hear anything for 9 months. And usually if you don't hear back for an audition for about a month or two, it's likely didn't work out. So I kept thinking like, oh man, what could have been? And then they booked me for a session to do some background voices, some random characters in probably Nibelheim, I think. And in the middle of the session, after trolling me with some characters that were way too young for my voice range, they started having a weird glitch on the iPad screen that had the script on it. And as it began to show all these weird pop-ups happening, the screen went black. And then my headshot popped up and it said, or how about you play a different character, as the music began to swell, and then it revealed Vincent Valentine on the screen. And they just completely trolled me. And they were filming it because they told me they were doing like some low-key, you know, facial animation reference for the characters. Yeah. So they had a little GoPro set up in advance, and they filmed the whole thing.
Dude.
High production troll.
Yeah.
High production troll.
Like they knew how much it meant to me, so they had to make me squirm. And I think you can probably find it on YouTube somewhere, but like it definitely caught me off guard. But man, someone asked me like, what's your dream role after this? I'm like, I don't have any, man. I got it. Like
I already did it.
Like, God,
that's amazing. Well, I know we will all manifest a Dirge of Cerberus remake. So
oh my gosh, don't get me started.
So. Okay, I want to ask one more question.
Yeah.
Before we play a game. And the question is, so you will be featured in the upcoming game Date Everything.
Yes.
As the D20, of course. For those of you who don't know, Date Everything is a game where you date everything, like all of the inanimate objects in the game.
So
and
good,
also
y'all.
like I think like the menus and text boxes and stuff as well. So of course, we've had a couple of your castmates in that game on the Anime Effect. So we have to ask you, who do you think players will find more dateable? Your 20-sided dice or die? I don't know. How do you want to? Your D20, Neil Newbon's clothes dryer, or Troy Baker's treadmill?
I mean, they're all such specific archetypes that it really depends on the flavor of dateable that you're into. My character, I play me in high school. I'm super awkward, very enthusiastic, very like non-initiating, extremely naive, and just happy to have someone to play games with. So if that's your vibe, then you will definitely enjoy Chance the D20. Troy and
Chance.
Neil,
I love that his name's Chance.
definitely. I mean, just by nature, they have a very seductive quality to their voice and personas that I think is a very
Leah was the first to break there.
yeah a very wide gulf between my character and theirs. I think as far as the sexual energy that could exist from
Raw
inanimate objects around your
energy.
house, you know. So yeah, I'd say they're probably their characters are definitely the hotter of the three.
That's subjective.
But I'm definitely the one that'll like, wake up early, make you coffee and rub your feet and like, cuddle up and play Stardew with you on the weekend. That's more my character, I think, in the Date Everything universe.
That is so funny.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, Robbie and the team has done such an incredible thing. It's rare to have a game that feels like it ends a genre. Where it's like what do you do now? Like, it just kind of comes in and throws down the sword and goes, "It's done."
It's like everything from this point on will just be a parody of Date Everything.
Yeah, it's like we did that.
Yeah, it's been done already.
Can't wait for y'all to play it.
Same.
So what do you say, Matthew? Are you up for a game?
Hell yeah. I'm always down for a game. Let's go.
Let's have some fun. So this
whole
is
thing has been fun, Leah.
I know, but some more
Finally, we're
fun.
getting to it. Jeez.
Let me do the intro. So this game is called Classify Your Anime Characters.
Ooh.
And for anyone who has played D&D or is even just familiar with the concept.
It stands for Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. You know that different characters have different classes. So we would like you to determine which class the anime characters you have played would be in D&D.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
I have a great example. So I play unnamed male hero 69A. This is true.
Yes.
In My Hero Academia. So he would be.
Do you remember your line?
Hey, us too. Want to walk to the station together? That's me.
Wow.
Iconic. You submit your reel and that's it.
Well, Matthew Mercer said it was slick, so
Approved.
So that
Approved.
I don't remember what class he would be. Anyway, play the game. I just had to say that. That's it.
All right, so we're gonna go through this list, and you'll tell us what class you think they are.
Cool.
So let's start off with Levi, of course, from Attack on Titan.
Oh man.
What do you see him in the party?
Yeah. I put him as like a barbarian thief multi-class.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Like,
that's
wasn't
actually
expecting
great.
The barbarian, because like the rage, the speed, the ability to just continue to push through and just wail on his target. But also I feel the rogue in there for the sneak attack, the additional movement for like the bonus action,
the backstory.
Dash. Like, yeah, there's a lot of, I think that combination feels very apropos for Levi.
That's actually really
good.
great.
That's a great answer.
And since you are basically the D&D canon now, I'm just like, okay, that's canon. That's his class.
We need a button that goes next to the isekai button. That's
It's
the cannon button.
Cannon button. Yeah.
And it's just like a huge cannon blast every time you hit it.
Please don't. We don't need people getting into accidents for cannon blast here.
Okay. Next up, we have Ubuyashiki from Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
Likely. I would say probably a charismatic, maybe like bard cleric. Not in the classic bard. People think bard. They think a singer. This is more like an orator or a
Karaoke.
leader, a person that inspires
Yeah.
others through word and through tutelage. And most of the capabilities that he would take as both from the cleric side to, heal and support, the bardic support would be more about just helping others go forth and kind of watching from the distance. So if I had to pick a class, that to me makes the most sense. The charismatic side for the ability to convince, persuade, manipulate if need be, in the sense of like Muzan.
Inspiration left and right.
Yeah, totally.
I love that.
That's
Just,
great.
like, buff the Hashira right before
Hell yeah.
the battle.
Plus one, plus one, plus one.
Oh, we got one more, and I'm gonna pick, and I'm gonna be selfish about the pick.
Go.
Jotaro Kujo.
Yes.
From JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Jotaro.
I love me some JoJo's.
Hell yeah,
Nick
man,
loves some JoJo's.
I already have an answer for this.
Do you
one.
have an answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I want to see how I do this.
Let's see what Matthew's answer is, and then we'll see if you guys line up.
Oh man, that's interesting. I mean, from a mechanical standpoint, just trying to incorporate the stand, that feels like a unique blend of a ranger companion.
Yes.
Being able to enable like a really powerful ranger companion. I could also see that as like a fighter sorcerer almost, somebody that is frontline combatant that can dish out the damage, but that innate power that would represent the stand they can use, and their spells would be like representations of Star Platinum, dishing out damage and enhancements and controlling the environment around him while he just stands there quietly doing nothing. It'd be like the sorcerer side is like the meta magic for like still spell and silent spell, where he just stands there and doesn't even have to cast anything and crazy things happen. That's Star Platinum being the interpretation of that, but then the little bit of the fighter ability to just like whenever they do get a little too close, wham, and takes them out with that one heavy hit.
Wow.
Let's get this campaign going. Let's get this campaign going.
That's the name of the spell. It's just there you go.
Yeah, and there you have the action surge for the oro, so you can just go the attack after attack after attack after attack.
I love it. I love
Chef's
it.
kiss.
Was your answer that good?
I was definitely leaning Ranger with the familiar, but then I was also thinking about, I can't remember if is it Paladin who has one of the skills where they have like Holy Guardians. I forget what the skill is called.
Oh, there's a spell, Spirit Guardians. That's kind of
Spirit Guardians. That's it.
That's
what I was seeing in my head.
That's actually a pretty solid spell too. Yeah, that's a good call.
Oh man,
look at
I
us.
want to do one more so bad.
We're going on a D&D trip at the end of the month. And I'm just like really excited to just be locked in a cabin to play for 3 days.
And the fact that Matthews plays so many characters that he has his own D&D squad is insane.
we only covered anime. Like
I am right.
Like I have to just like Titanfall 2 is one of my favorite games of all time.
I love Titanfall so much. This master cinema.
Fire Emblem Awakening, Prom.
Come on, my doofy little prince. I love him.
We all love him.
Do we have time for one more?
Let's go.
Because I really want to know Yusuke Kitagawa from Persona.
Okay.
I really would love to know.
Yusuke. Such a delightful, sweet artist boy who just can't seem to afford his supplies. Let me see.
He's such a good character too.
He's great. In a similar way, like, the personas themselves have a very stand-like element to them.
Yeah, they do.
But then again, he also just pulls out rifles.
I think pull out the yacht. Here you go.
I think he definitely lean Ranger to some degree. Like, the persona being the companion, but like going full like companion emphasis there. But his ranged weaponry is just an automatic rifle blasting away. High dex means he also does it with flair and a wonderful stylistic way of destroying my opponents, but also doing it artistically.
Period.
Wow.
Gotta have the flair.
Yeah,
of course.
That's awesome.
That's
I've loved all your
incredible.
answers. They were like so spot on.
Well, thank you. I'm a big nerd.
Us too.
Yeah, but you fit right
we
in.
host an anime podcast. You're talking to like 3 of the biggest nerds on the floor. Like,
that's why I feel at home.
Speaking of which, we are also in the Dallas office of Crunchyroll too. So the old Funimation.
Oh yeah.
So it's a new office, but
So if you're ever around,
hell yeah,
find us.
Next time I'm in town, I'll make sure I'll stop by and say hey.
Yeah, come
let's
slide.
do it.
It'd be fun.
Also, I know you just wrapped up. Well, the show just wrapped up. Part 1 of Sakamoto Days was fantastic.
Incredible.
Dub was incredible.
Oh, thank
So-
you. That was
I
so
love
much
me
fun.
Way of the House husbandry anime happening.
No, yeah.
It's great. Like John Wick with even like more of a nice little familial, comfy element.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like, oh,
great.
you try to kill me? Why don't you come work at the convenience store that I own?
We'll adopt you. It's
With my
fine.
family. Well, Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, this is incredible.
This is a dream come true.
My
Before we
pleasure.
let you go, can you please tell us and other fans who may be listening or watching what we can look forward to you from you next? Look forward to from you
There you go.
next.
There we go. No, yeah.
got
We got there. We arrived.
We have. This is our 10-year Critical Role anniversary, so we have a number of fun announcements to come in the near future. We are launching our own tabletop RPG called Daggerheart that we've been working on over the past 3 years that comes out in May.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We're very excited about it. It's kind of a nice blend of some of the classic crunch of older games, but narrative forward elements of some of the new school design aspects, kind of finding a happy medium and kind of facilitating our style of play at Critical Role. So I hope you have a chance to check it out if you can. Legend of Vox Machina Season 4 is coming up sometime soon. It's been announced. We've been heavy in development on that. Our Mighty Nine animated series is also in development. We don't have any dates announced yet, but it's looking real good, y'all.
Hell yeah, brother.
Can't wait for y'all to check that out. And I guess just keep an eye on Critical Role socials for all sorts of fun announcements to come in the near future. And of course, play date everything when that comes out because it's brilliant and everyone's worked real hard on it. And the final result is something truly unique, weird, and special.
I can't wait.
I love it. I
We
love
will
it.
talk about it on the show.
I cannot
will.
wait. But thank you again so much for your
thank you.
time.
This is so great, man.
This has
Thank you
been
so
so
much.
great.
My pleasure, y'all. Thank you for having me.
Now we have to go start a D&D campaign.
Yeah. Based on those archetypes that we just,
Legally distinct versions
Legally
of those.
distinct.
Yes,
archetypes.
yes.
Pile your limber off a little bit. You'll be fine.
Awesome. Thanks again, Matt.
Yeah,
Thanks so
best
much,
of luck
y'all.
with everything going on.
Thank you. You too.
Oh my gosh, that was insane.
That was so fun. He's so cool.
I
Like,
know.
That was incredible.
Putting it out there now.
No.
Anime Effect D&D campaign.
I'm saying.
That's all I'm
man.
saying.
Maybe if we're nice enough to Matthew, he'll run it for us.
Yep. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
Probably not. He's super busy. Probably not. But no, that was incredible. Hopefully we can get him back for part 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of these days, we're going to have a return guest.
One of these days.
Hey, technically, David was on the
yeah,
show twice.
David's been back. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that was enough excitement for today.
You sure?
I mean, well, we just have the outro left, so I don't want to tee anything up. It's the end of the
there's
show.
nothing more we can say. We're all like in shock. Like, we're just all like on cloud
I'm
9 right
sweating.
now.
Lee,
I know.
Lee, do you want to take us out?
For sure. Thanks for joining us for another episode of The Anime Effect, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
If you're not subscribed, but you're listening to the show, how? You know what I mean?
You just trust yourself to remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember from the last conversation I had, except with Matt Mercer.
The Anime Effect is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and Leah President. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hurst, Joanna Clay, and unnamed male hero 69A. Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero.
Do you have an IMDb credit for that? Because that would
I
be
don't know.
probably the funniest thing.
Our lead producer is Kyla Carnero, and our associate producer is Zoe Culkin. Open-Ended Films recorded and Pixelworks edited the video. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks, as always, Carla Solorzano and Tamika Balance Kalasny, and the one and only Matthew Mercer.
Gall darn it.
Well, gosh darn it.
Well, golly gee willikers.
Gee willikers. Gee whiz.
Are we? We're gonna be back next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we can top that,
There's gonna be more anime.
we've peaked.
There's always more anime, and there's nothing you can do about it.
There's literally nothing.
Zero.
I don't even know why you would
Zero.
try. There's nothing you can do about it.
All right, y'all. Later days.
Bye.
That was the
Honestly.
reaction to everybody in my life when I was like, oh, we're going to talk to Matt Mercer. They're like, what?
Yeah.
No, what? That's crazy. So yeah, we're totally geeked to have you on.
That was
I'm
also
sure
our
happy to come chat
reaction.
with y'all. Hell yeah.